students, I, Mrs. Madhvi Mhatre, welcome you all in the next lecture of Mathematics 1. We are studying chapter number 4, Ratio and Proportion. In this chapter, we have studied the concept of ratio, and then afterwards, we have seen properties of ratios, and based on that, we have solved practice set 4.1 and practice set 4.2. Now let's go towards the next topic, that is operations on equal ratios. Okay, so let us start with the operations. We will see which are these operations and how we are going to apply them. That means applications of these operations on the equal ratios. Okay, so let's start. So here, by using the properties of equality, you know that equation, when we use equal to signs, when we write something equal to 0 or something equal to 1, 2, whatever, that means when we write two sides, LHS and RHS, and in between if we have equal to sign, we call it as a equation. And then the properties of equality, all of you know that we can add the same number on both the sides of the equation. We can subtract the same number from both the sides. We can multiply both the sides of the equation by same number. We can divide both the sides of the equation by the same number. So all these are called as what? Properties of equality. So by using this, all the properties of equality of addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, we can perform some operations on these ratios. Okay. Now here I am giving you the operations. At the same time, you please write down them in your notebook so that you can use them, you can do its application. So now let us study these operations. So for this purpose, what we are going to do is we are going to think about four positive integers a, b, c and d. You know that here these properties of equality, they change when we are thinking about the negative sign. Okay, so that is why here, or in case of inequality also, you know that when there is a negative sign, then the properties are changing. So here in general we are writing it for positive integers. So a, b, c, d are the four numbers which are positive integers. So from that, the first operation we can write is called as invertendo. You know inverse. Inverse means we have to write, multiplication inverse. That 1 upon a is the multiplicative inverse of a. We have to invert it, reverse it. Okay. So if we have two equal ratios, a upon b is equal to C upon D. That means always we are going to think of equal ratios. That is why the heading or the topic is what? Operations on equal ratios. Okay. So if A upon B is equal to C upon D, then B upon A is equal to D upon C. We are doing invertendo on both the sides. We are writing the inverse. Inverse of A upon B is B upon A. Okay, so if the two ratios are equal, then the inverse of two ratios is also equal. This property is called as invertendo. Invert it, invert the original ratio, but we should perform the operation on both the sides. See, both the places we have done the inversion. B upon A and here D upon C. You cannot write B upon A is equal to C upon D. So whatever operations we are doing, that operations we have to do on both the sides. So it is said that we are doing these operations, we are using these properties by using the property of equality. That means whatever operation you are performing, that you have to perform on both the sides, left hand side as well as right hand side of the equation. Okay. So I hope you must have copied down the first property or first operation, that is invertendo. Once again see, if A upon B is equal to C upon D, then B upon A is equal to D upon C. Now let's go towards the second operation. that is called as alternando. Okay, so here to alter means to interchange the position here. The word alter stands for interchanging the position of these two. Numerator of first ratio and denominator of second ratio is altered. Okay. So if A upon B is equal to C upon D, then A upon C is equal to B upon D. See, this we are altering. These positions we are altering. We can do so. See, when C is in multiplication here on right hand side, we can bring it in division. And B is in division, so we can take it in multiplication here. Okay, so that means we are using properties of equality. So here position of B and C is altered. Okay. Similarly, you can alter the position of A and D also. So this property is called as what? Alternando. Okay. If A upon B is equal to C upon D, then A upon C is equal to B upon D. These two are interchanged. We can interchange these two also. Okay. Now let's go towards the third property. Third property is called as componendo. So see this word compo and relate it with combine. To combine something means what? To add. Okay, so this word componendo you will relate with addition. Okay, so what is done here in this particular property or in this particular operation is always we have the two equal ratios. They are A upon B is equal to C upon D. But here the denominator is added to numerator. Okay, see A plus B upon B. Numerator is unchanged. Denominator is same, only the numerator is changed. We are adding denominator to numerator. But as I have said, whatever operation we are doing, we have to do on both the sides. So similarly on right hand side also, we have to add denominator to numerator. Okay. So if A upon B is equal to C upon D, then A plus B upon B is equal to C plus D upon D. Okay. So as I have said, relate this word compo with addition. You are going to add denominator to the numerator. Okay. Then next, dividendo. Now this dividendo word you relate with subtraction. So the property is very much similar to third one, but here instead of adding denominator to numerator, we are subtracting on both the sides. Okay. So if A upon B is equal to C upon D, then A minus B upon B is equal to C minus D upon D. This is called as dividendo. Okay, so the first property was invertendo, second was alternando, third is componendo, fourth is dividendo, and the fifth and the last property is combination of these two properties, componendo and dividendo, and therefore the name of the property is componendo dividendo. Okay, see if we divide these two, if we draw a line here, we are dividing. Okay, that means we are writing it like this. Then what we can do is we can cancel B from both the sides like this, and we can cancel D from both the sides, and then we will get A plus B upon A minus B in left hand side, and here we will get C plus D upon C minus D. Okay, so by combining these two properties, simply by dividing here, we can understand that the last property is what? Componendo dividendo. Okay, that is here we are adding denominator to numerator in the numerator, and we are subtracting denominator from numerator in the denominator. What you will observe is the terms are exactly same, only they differ by the sign. In numerator you have plus sign and in denominator you have minus sign. But for this particular property, there is one condition that here A cannot be equal to B and C cannot be equal to D. Because if they are equal, then the denominator will become 0, which is not allowed. All of you know that we cannot divide any number by 0. If in the denominator, if we have 0, it is meaningless. It has no meaning. It cannot be defined. That is why you have to keep in mind this condition that A cannot be equal to B and C cannot be equal to D. Okay. I hope all of you must have written these properties. Now when we will solve the sums, that time you will understand the properties better. Okay. Now let's see some solved examples first, and then we will move towards next practice set, that is practice set 4.3. Okay, so the first solved example here, if A upon B is equal to 5 upon 3. See, we have two equal ratios. This is first ratio and this is second ratio, and they are equal. So operations on equal ratios or properties of equal ratios we can apply. Okay. Then find the ratio A plus 7B upon 7B. Now see, this sum can be solved in two different ways. There are two different methods. So let us see those methods. First method we will see. In the first method, what we have to do is we have to make use of the property of K. That means the given two equal ratios we will consider as K, but while doing that we are doing alternando. Okay, so if you are not doing this step and directly if you are doing this, then you will get 0 marks. Okay, in this particular method the properties of equal ratios or operations on equal ratios are not used. It is different method. Okay, so A upon B is equal to 5 upon 3, and on this first of all alternando is done. That means the things are changed. See, these two are altered. Position of B and 5 is altered. It is changed. So what is written is A upon 5 is equal to B upon 3 is equal to K by using alternando, or somebody else will write A upon B is equal to 5K upon 3K. Then also it will do, because you know that the ratio is always in the reduced form and it also has a common multiple. So that common multiple you have to take as K. So if you don't want to go for alternando, you can write down A upon B is equal to 5 upon 3, which is same as 5K upon 3K. It indicates that value of A is 5K and value of B is 3K. Okay. Now take the term which you want to find out. Okay. So I want to find out A plus 7B upon 7B. So write it down. A plus 7B upon 7B. Now in place of A, we will substitute 5K, and in place of B, we will substitute 3K. So see here, in place of A, 5K is written, plus sign as it is, 7 as it is. In place of B, 3K is written, divided by 7 as it is into, in place of B again 3K is written. Okay. So see now this 5K as it is, 7 3s are 21 and this K, so the multiplication of 7 into 3K is 21K. And in the denominator now we have again 7 into 3K, that is 21K. So now let's add 5K plus 21K is 26K, and denominator as it is, that is 21K. And here we can cut K and K from both the sides and our answer is 26 upon 21. Okay. So this is one method where we are using the property A upon B is same as AK upon BK, or the ratio has a common multiple. That property we are using. Now in second method, we are going to use the operations which we have seen just now. Okay, invertendo. alternando, componendo, dividendo, and componendo dividendo. I told you to write in the notebook. So I hope you must be having those 5 properties in front of you right now in your notebook. So just looking at them, you decide that here which property you can observe. See, these are the two original ratios. And what is done here? So it is definitely not an invertendo, not an alternando. If you see the third property of componendo, see, numerator and denominator, they are added in the numerator and denominator as it is. Okay. So we are going to make use of the operation of componendo here. This is very clear. So that you have to decide. So let's see method 2 now. So in method 2, you have to write down what is given to you. So you are provided with A upon B is equal to 5 upon 3. Afterwards, now the next important thing is you observe the question and decide what is the numerator and what is the denominator. So what we can observe here is denominator is 7b. It's not simply b, it's 7b. Numerator is as it is, a. See, you can see numerator as it is. But denominator is not b, it is 7b. So you write it on left hand side. First decide what's numerator, what's denominator, and write it in the form of ratio. So a upon 7b. Now, since there is no change in numerator, I will copy down the numerator as it is 5. But here I have multiplied by 7. So if I have multiplied on left hand side, I need to multiply on right hand side also. So this 3 also should be multiplied by 7. So 3 sevens are 21. That is why you will observe the change in the denominator here, both the places. How we have decided? By observing the question, that in the question numerator is a and denominator is 7b. So take them as it is here and do the necessary changes on both the sides. Now afterwards, as I have said, that we have observed that we have to make use of the property of componendo. So let's make use of the property of componendo. So add denominator to numerator. So a plus 7b upon denominator as it is. So if we are doing it on left hand side, we have to do on right hand side. So here also 5 plus 21 upon 21. And don't forget to give reason using componendo. We have used the property of componendo and this operation is performed. Okay. So now the left hand side will be as it is a plus 7b upon 7b. But here we can add 21 to 5 and we can write down 26 in numerator and denominator as it is 21. Okay. So what you can observe is answer is same. So this problem can be solved by using both the methods. But this method, first method I am saying, it is not applicable everywhere. That is why I will suggest you, or in the textbook also, if you see, the second method is preferred, because that method you can use everywhere. You can solve any problem by using this method. That means the 5 different operations on equal ratios. Okay. Now let's see one more solved example here. So example number 3 now I am discussing. If A upon B is equal to 7 upon 3, see the equal ratios are given. Then find the value of the ratio A plus 2B upon A minus 2B. Again, you can solve it by both the methods. So let's see method 1 first of all. So you have to start with what is given to you. That is A upon B is equal to 7 upon 3. And from that, we can write down A is equal to 7m and B is equal to 3m. We have to take some common multiple here. Like in previous case, K was taken, but here M is taken. You can make use of any alphabet except A and B because A and B are already present here. So don't use A and B again. Otherwise, you will be in trouble. You will get wrong answer. So except A and B, you can use any alphabet. But generally, we prefer to use K, which is used as a constant. You have studied variation also previously, and there also we have used K for the constant. So K is often used. Okay. M also is used. As I have said, you can use any letter. So value of A is 7m now and value of B is 3m. Then simply copy down the thing which we want, whatever we want to find out, that is A plus 2b upon A minus 2b, and simply substitute 7m in place of A and 3m in place of B. Simply replace A by 7m and B by 3m. That is the step. This is called as substitution. So here in place of A 7m is written, plus 2 as it is, in place of B 3m is written. Similarly in the denominator, A is replaced by 7m minus 2 as it is, and B is replaced by 3m. So when we multiply here 2 into 3m, the answer is 6m. So what we have, 7m plus 6m divided by 7m minus 6m. So 7 plus 6, 13. So 7m plus 6m, the answer is 13m, and 7m minus 6m, the answer is 1m, which we write as only m. And then m and m we can cancel from both the sides, and answer is 13 upon 1, or simply you can write down 13 in the next step. Okay, but generally it's a ratio, so we are writing it in the numerator and denominator form. So the answer is written 13 upon 1. Now let's see the second method where we have to use the operations. So once again you go through all the operations and think that which operation is used here. Invertendo? No. Alternando? No. Componendo? No. Dividendo? No. You will observe that componendo and dividendo is used here. See, here you have plus sign in the numerator and minus sign in the denominator. So the property of componendo dividendo, or the operation of componendo dividendo, is used here. So let's start with what is provided to us in method 2. We will start with A upon B is equal to 7 upon 3, which is given to us. Then I told you, you observe the question and decide what is numerator and what is denominator. So here what we can observe is numerator is A, which is same here. But denominator is not B, it is 2B here. So write down that denominator, A upon 2B. Decide and write. Observe and write. Okay. So A is same, so 7 we are writing as it is. But when we write 2b, we are multiplying here by 2. So we have to multiply on RHS also. So 2 into 3, 6 we will write. What we have done, we have multiplied both the sides by 1 upon 2. Because we wanted the denominator to be, and it is not possible for us to multiply only in LHS. Whatever operation we are doing, we have to do on both the sides. That is why both the sides are multiplied by 1 upon 2. And the new ratios are written. Then we have decided the property, or we have decided the operation that we are going to go for componendo dividendo. But whatever we are doing, we have to do on both the sides. So here A plus 2B upon A minus 2B. Componendo dividendo on LHS. Similarly, do it on RHS. 7 plus 6 upon 7 minus 6. So copy down LHS once again as it is, which is in question. See, we got the step here. And here 13 you will get in the numerator. 7 plus 6, 13. And 7 minus 6 is 1. So both the places you are going to get the same answer. Now presently you will feel that this method is better. This is easier. If such questions are coming, you can definitely use this method. But as I have said, everywhere it is not applicable. Okay, so this is applicable everywhere. So don't ignore it. Then don't think that we can do it with this. Then why to think about this all invertendo and all. The words are also new and you must be find it little difficult. But if you understand, then afterwards you will find it easy. And one more important thing I want to tell you, that these properties which you are studying in 9th standard, you are going to use in 10th standard. You know that 9th standard is a base of 10th standard. Many same concepts or same topics are continued or elaborated in 10th standard. So you must have this knowledge. Let's go ahead now. Let's see one more example. Here, the next example is about the application of properties of equal ratios. Okay. So some type of equations which are very different, which are not similar to the previous one, it is convenient to use the properties only, or it is convenient to use the operations only. We cannot solve them easily by any other method. Okay, because since they are having higher powers, like 2 power is 2 or power is 3, and then opening those brackets and solving, it is not possible. So for some types of equations which are different, we have to. So for this application of properties, here there are solved examples given in the textbook. All of you please go through those solved examples. These solved examples are similar to practice set 4.3. So please go through all those solved examples and try to understand them. If you don't understand, you can ask me the doubts. Okay. Now here, after the solved examples, at the end of the solved examples, you will find this activity. Okay. So this activity you will find that is given just above practice set 4.3. So it is under the reduced syllabus. It is not there. Here also certain questions are asked. If you want, you can solve it. As I have said, even though the syllabus is reduced, the remark is given there that students have to do self-study. They have to understand all these things. So for your extra information, for your knowledge, you can solve it. You can try to understand this. Okay. So the practice set 4.3, which is based on the operations on the equal ratios or properties of the equal ratios, and also the application of those properties or application of those operations, we will solve it, but that we will do in next lecture. Okay, so together practice set 4.3 I can discuss in a single lecture. If I start with questions now, then hardly I will complete one sum, and then again there will be a discontinuation, it will not be continued. So practice set 4.3 I will try to do it in continuation. Okay, so today I am stopping here. We will meet in next lecture. As I have told you, please by heart all these properties, try to understand them and go through solved examples so that you can understand the things better. Okay, so students, I am stopping here today. We will meet in next lecture. Till that, you stay home, stay safe, take care of yourself. Thank you, students.